I think I found my favorite color on the Denali Ultimate, and it definitely looks better in person. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Matt Tilton in the commercial department actually sold it. Let's go ahead and check out the wind sticker so you guys can see the pricing on this one. At the very top is a description, and you guys can see the color is Downpour Metallic, interior is Alpine Umber, and then here is a listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Base price is going to be $96,300. And then here are all the options. So Gooseneck and fifth wheel prep package. Downpour Metallic was $495, and then high idle switch. Destination comes in at $1995 with a total price of $99,535. The one thing I just noticed about the Denali Ultimate is it seems like clearance lights come standard because there's no option for it. So there you have it. Now on this one you have the premium lighting top and bottom, and this one has the Vader chrome on the front, and I think that's why this color looks so good. Having that dark chrome on the front end with this blue is like perfect. You have that sparkle on the paint, and this is a similar color that Chevy uses on the Silverado too. But yes, the front end is really menacing, and they did update this truck for 2024 last year. Basically it got released. Has the animations for the headlights, more of that Vader chrome here, and then down below. Active grille shutters, you guys can see it has a camera up front with a sprayer to clean it. And then even on the badge here has that Vader chrome. Functional hood scoop. Parking sensors. And then off to the side it shows 1 ton. And then you have that plug here for your engine block heater. You guys see down below too, it has a valance. They did a pretty good job designing this truck. Ford has a huge front valance, looks kind of bad in my opinion. Now off to the side, you do have the plastic fender flares. Some colors you can actually color match that to the truck too. But yeah, this is kind of like in the shade, and it's a little bit darker on this side, but you guys can see some of your badging. And then down below it says Denali HD. And here are the mirrors. They do give you the bright chrome pretty much on the side of the truck. Power folding mirrors. You have these lights for backing up at night, and these will be heated at the very top. More cameras. Smart key system just for the front doors. And then you have those power deployable running boards with that perimeter lighting down below. 36-gallon fuel tank. And your DEF is going to be 7 gallons. And this is a high flow pump on both sides too. Steps. And then I didn't point out, but you have those clearance lights too. And then here's a quick look at those leaves out back. That bottom one's going to be a helper spring, and then you have these leaves, and then 2 overloads. They're still using the wax coating on the frame. Fabric material for the wheel well. And then here are the wheels. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs, 275, 65, 20. This is basically 34.1 inches tall, and you guys see right there 3,750 pounds of capacity at 80 psi cold. I will show you guys the payload and the tire pressure that the manufacturer recommends too. Out back, full LED taillights. They also have the animations. You have those steps, parking sensors, class 5 hitch, camera inputs here for your trailer, 7-pin, and then these all come standard with that multi-pro tailgate. And if you push the 2 buttons here together, they'll drop it all down. And then you do have that kicker sound system standard. 5th wheel prep package, they do provide this handle, 4 and 7-pin, bed lights. And then you have 400 watts of power. 2 cameras at the very top, one for your rearview mirror and one for bed view. I don't normally show the tailgate, but you do have this function as well. And if you put it all down like this, like a normal tailgate, this can also go up like that too, if you have something a little bit longer. By the way, they did restyle this unit too. I'm surprised it didn't just go to a Type C, because it seems like the Type A's are kind of outdated now. Oh yeah, one last thing. 342 rear axle, and it's gonna have an automatic locker. I will say for a $100,000 truck, GM, you gotta give us a full size, or not a full size, but you have to give a matching wheel and tire, because that's an 18-inch wheel. As we know, the Ford guys are proud of their power stroke, especially the high output. But make no mistake about it, this Duramax puts down the power strong. 12-inch ring gear out back on the 3500s. This truck has 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. I've made comments saying that I think that GM is lying about the power numbers, because the power delivery in the Duramax is probably first place, unloaded. Now, under load, you know, Ford has a lot more power, a lot more torque, but I still think that this truck holds its own if you're towing less than 15,000 pounds. Most guys looking to tow a travel trailer, fifth wheel, things like that. This truck is absolutely phenomenal. They did upgrade the combustion and the turbo, so this is technically a Gen 2 L5P. 10-speed, stamp-approved Allison behind. First gear is like a 454 to 1. And I think that if you're in the market for a diesel, this is one of the best ones. I think Banks did a segment on trying to kill a Duramax, and he had a hard time. So goes to show you that this is a pretty reliable one, and they just tweaked it just enough to get a little bit more power out of it and make it slightly more reliable. Blue on saddle is absolute fire. I'm just gonna say it. It's absolute fire, guys. So this is one of my favorite specs I've seen in a while. Normally, when I do multiple videos on the same truck, it's because I like to see the contrast. Oh, I gotta turn the lights off now. But yeah, having the umber interior with the downpour, perfect spec. Now when you get the Denali Ultimate, everything pretty much comes standard on the interior. This truck is loaded. You guys can see they did a great styling on this door card. The stitching, the piping has like this like off-white color. You have your seat memories there, some polish or satin finishes there. The wood treatment is porous, and you can feel it there. All this is gonna be soft touch at the very top. And they do wrap this area here in leather, which is basically the only truck that does that. Now, all this is gonna be hard plastic, but kick plate says Ultimate there, has the coordinates as well. These seats are 16-way, so you have the massage function on the top only. I would like to see the bottom. And I would like to see GM give a slightly bigger seat too, but these are not so bad. They are pretty comfortable. They're still firm, but I think I like the firmer leather because it holds up pretty well over time. 12-speaker Bose, which is an upgrade for the Denali Ultimate 2, comes standard again. But you have your full drive system, your drive modes with that tow haul, lighting, heads-up display buttons are there, electronic parking brake. They do wrap your grab handles in leather front and rear, and they give you that suede headliner. Now I know some people probably don't really care about that suede, but here's what I'll tell you. Now that I own a truck with a suede headliner, I think I'm going to always want a truck with a suede headliner because it does enhance the overall interior. I don't know how to explain it, I just like it. I don't look at it all the time, but I notice it every time I get my truck. So push button starts right here. And then here's some of the controls on the steering wheel. You guys can see some of the trimming around too. You have more leather wrap up here with some of that stitching and piping. Heads-up display. Let's go ahead and start it up too. I don't want to take too much time here, so if you want to go back and see a lot more, I have done a ton of videos on the Ultimates, but my favorite things about this truck, 13.4-inch display, currently the largest in the segment, and you can move things around inside this screen. So what I like to do is, still loading, moving too fast. So here we go. So if you go back to home, you can, like, if you want to see your Apple CarPlay up here, you can move it up top. If you want your settings on the next screen, which I like to do, you can add that here. That way it's just easier to get to. Also, if you want to remove things from there, you can also put your Apple CarPlay there. So there's so many ways you can customize this. If you have the tire pressure monitoring system, oh, by the way, it actually might be in the back, but you do get the trailer tire pressure monitoring system standard on these higher trim trucks. If you don't get this one, it's a $100 option, which even if you don't have a trailer, just get it. It's just worth it, because if you ever do get a trailer, you can set it all up here and see the tire pressure and the temperatures on this split screen, which is a really nice function to have. No surprise here, dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel buttons right there. You can customize this screen, and you probably can see the heads-up display right there. Vanities up top. Home link, LED interior lighting, and then they do give you a standard sunroof. And then if you're looking for your wireless charger for your phone, it's in a nice convenient spot there. You have 2 USBs, 120 volt power plug. This does pop out to show deeper storage. Now let's try something out here real quickly. Hold on one second. If you do have a firearm, there is an option to get a lockbox in your center console. So if you do have one, like this is my SIG. In the last video I did on a Ford, I called it a Glock by mistake because I was going to get a Glock 19, but then at the very last minute I switched to a SIG because everyone I talked to, all my police friends said just get a SIG, you won't be disappointed. But nevertheless, you could put it down here, but I recommend if you have a firearm, just go ahead and get that lockbox. The next truck I order, I'm definitely getting the lockbox for sure. But trailer brakes there, you have 2 more USBs, and yes, I think that when it's all said and done, this truck is probably the best in the segment. Last thing I'll show you guys, you do have your 360 camera view. Also, you have this bed view as well. If you tow a trailer, you can put on the line out back, and then you have these different camera views. If you go off-road, you can see the front tires and the rear of the truck. Here's a quick peek at that center console. And then here's one more look at the seats. And then this is how you would control your seat bolstering. I didn't mention this, but you can tighten the bolstering on the side here. And your massage function, you can control that too. Here's a little bit of storage at the very top. And then down below, you guys will see, you can use this truck for a camper, for the bed. You still have that leather wrap on this side as well. But out back, they don't give it to you here. Here's some of your extra speakers that they give you for the Denali Ultimate. And you can tell that the seat's slightly different with the design. Seat back pockets, and you have storage here. These do pop down for better visibility. Power sliding glass. Outboard heated seats, 2 USBs, flat floor surface. And there's a little bit of storage below the seat here. You can get upgraded storage here when you get that upgraded lockbox for the center console. So what about the payload? Well, let's take a look at all the numbers really quickly. So gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 5,600 pounds. The rear is 7,250. And you have a 12,100 pound gross vehicle weight rating. 20 by 8.5 wide wheels. So if you want to run those 35 by 12.5, I mean, that's a pretty good width for those. You just have to check with manufacturer, obviously. But payload is 3,662 pounds, which is not bad for a truck that's decked out like this. This truck has pretty much every option you would ever want. And then 20,000 pound conventional towing, and then 21.6 for gooseneck and fifth wheel. And then you guys see the gross combined weight rating, and this truck weighs on the curb 8,438 pounds. Now here is the yellow sticker showing the tire pressure. Hope you guys liked the video. I think that this is one of my favorite trucks for 2024 for sure, because it just gives you everything you want, and it comes pretty much standard with clearance lights, and that's a big deal for me on an HD truck. But I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to check out Jerry Seiner. See you guys soon.